Today, viewers, we take a look at two random assortments of loose action figures in two vinyl cases. We have the Empire Strikes Back. I think this was the first case released. Or no, I think this was the second case that came out for Empire Strikes Back. There was another one that has different graphics, different artwork on the cover. There's some nice artwork on this case. Pop it open and see what's inside. We have some Return of the Jedi figures. You can see the case, the vinyl case is split at the top. That's very common. It's one of the defects of that design for a case. We have an A-Wing pilot. Maybe a gender-neutral A-Wing pilot, because I think the actor, I think it was originally an actress that played that role, and then they switched the voiceover to a male. We have a Reese, or that's how I pronounce it, Reese, with his catcher glove mittens for hands. And his three eyes. We have a Rancor keeper, obese Rancor keeper. It's good likeness of somebody. You can tell it's kind of an authentic looking face. They sculpted it after. We have a Princess Leia in her Hoth outfit. Nice quilting patterns sculpted into the outfit. That was a very necessary figure. That was the principal outfit that Princess Leia wore in Empire Strikes Back. We have a Rebel Commando. Also a kind of authentic looking head sculpt, likeness of somebody out there in the world. Not quite as cool as your Hoth trooper or your Hoth rebel soldier. For some reason, doesn't seem to quite have the same cachet. But a nice figure nonetheless. Surprise, surprise, it's Lando in disguise. Really nice detail. This was one of my initial Return of the Jedi figures, I think. And the novelty of having the removable helmet for the disguise was a kind of a big feature of it, big selling feature of it. Here's a Zuckuss. I call him Zuckuss, not Forlom. I cast that in some pretty cool plastic that's kind of metallic, kind of shimmery in the light. Let's not forget about Darth Vader. Of course, the sculpting kind of ages. The original figure sculpting kind of ages when compared to the better sculpted Return of the Jedi figures. See what's underneath here. We have a Han Hoth. A little bit of wear and tear on the hands there. And of course that little strap on his holster frequently breaks. I think this one's intact though. Ugnaught, pig-like creature who is sort of a working man at Cloud City. He's got his worker's apron. We have a low-gray Ewok. I always get him confused with Tebow because Tebow's gray, and you would think he would be called low gray. Got a nice set of teeth on him, this Ewok does. We have a Bespin security guard, black security guard with no the teeth is unpainted. We have a white Bespin security guard with a cool handlebar mustache, or maybe it's a Fu Manchu mustache. Nice looking figure. An original Princess Leia whose limbs are turning pink. I assume because of exposure to ultraviolet light or moisture, or a combination of the two. I think it's mostly the exposure to light, ultraviolet light, causes it to turn pink. Her cape, vinyl cape, is in pretty good shape. We have an AT-AT commander who is also the Imperial officer. The actor Julian Glover stood in for both the AT-AT commander and the Imperial officer, a very competent member of the Imperial Officer Corps. That actor Julian Glover also portrays Donovan in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and he was also in Game of Thrones. The second issue of Snaggletooth. Supposedly Kenner just had a black and white photograph of Snaggletooth, just the upper body of him, and they thought he was full-size humanoid type figure, only later to find out that it was a little person portraying the alien Snaggletooth, and his costume was red, not blue. At least that's the accounts that I've heard. We have a wicket in there that I guess I omitted to look at. I apologize for that. Apologize to Wicket. We'll move on to the next case. And for our next case, we have an original vinyl case from Star Wars. The artwork is a little bit higher quality, I think, on the Star Wars vinyl case. At least they put a lot of effort into the airbrushed helmet of Darth Vader. This particular case still has the insert and some of the stickers, some of the name tags, and the booklet. Here's that insert. Includes Boba Fett in it, even though Boba Fett was not in the movie. Have some duplicates here. A couple Rebel commanders, aka Cliff Clavin, aka John Ratzenberger. During my Empire Strikes Back play, this figure always had to stand in for General Rieekan, although General Rieekan did not have a mustache. Here's the standard Bespin blaster that he came with. This version has more of a yellow painted face compared to the other one, which is more pink. We have a Bespin gown turtleneck version of Princess Leia with a design printed on the cape, which is pretty cool. Actually pretty detailed. This particular figure I bought at a comic book shop in about 1990 or so, or it may have been, oh, I lose track. It would have been earlier than that. It would have been like 88 or 89, because I was in middle school at the time. I remember because our middle school was in the downtown area of our city, and where my dad also worked, so after school I was free to roam about the downtown area and came across some really cool comic book shops where I scored I found a mother lode of vintage Star Wars toys. This was, of course, during the dark times when toys were no longer in stores. And I just found this comic book shop owner who had quite a collection that he had assembled for his nieces and nephews to play with whenever they visited him. But they were pretty much unplayed with, so they must not have visited this guy that often. And I remember he sold me these figures for about $2 each. A lot of these figures. And a lot of them had their weapons. Here we have a Luke Bespin. I call this one a ginger hair because his hair is more red. Sort of red-orange. It almost matches the color of the boots. Compared to some of the others which have more of a greenish brown or olive color for their hair. We have my original Big Head Han from when I was a kid. Sleeves are slightly yellowed. Big Head Han. I remember I got that figure when Return of the Jedi came out, and I thought that this was going to, like, they were just re-releasing this Han Solo for the Return of the Jedi Han Solo because he had that sleeveless vest. And I just assumed the trench coat Han was not out at the time, and so I just assumed that this was going to be our Return of the Jedi Han Solo. And we have what I call a pumpkin hair Luke Bespin. The hair color is orange. It's a lighter orange color compared to my ginger hair that I just showed you. And I think it's a Hong Kong Luke Bespin. Pretty nice looking figure. I've got one of these graded that's in better shape than this one, however. Usually that hair paint is very transparent on that version of Luke Bespin. See what's underneath here. Yet another Darth Vader. Not sure if that's a repro cape or not. That's the danger about ever having any repro items in your collection, because you sort of lose track of what's what because you have duplicates. Sensor scope, R2-D2. Artie Deco. Does anybody get that reference from Hardware Wars? Here's the 21B Medical Droid. Very polite, considerate droid. Looks like this one has a crack in it, in its back. Another white Bespin security guard. The mustache on this one is not the handlebar mustache. It's just kind of flares out a little bit. A Lando Calrissian, very colorful fashion sense. I like that blue shirt, the color, that sort of teal color for his shirt. His number one, Lieutenant Lobot. Always kind of an underrated badass character in my opinion. Very efficient, competent manager of Cloud City. We have a cloud car pilot. One hand at the ready to speak on his comlink and his ice cream outfit, ice cream man outfit. Forlom, distant cousin of Zuckuss, with a nice cloth goods cloak, chest plate, vinyl chest plate. We have a Rebel Trooper, standard issue Rebel Trooper. I don't think there's anything unique about this variation. We have a Yoda, Orange Snake Yoda, with the lighter green skin color. Learns quickly, this young Jedi. Here is a 8D8, otherwise known as Jabba's torture droid. Who would process R2-D2 and C-3PO, and I assume attach a restraining bolt and maybe brand them. They never depicted that in the movie though. So that's the extent of these two cases. I've shown some other cases full of vintage Star Wars before. I think this is this episode makes part 3. And check out my other videos. If you like this video, like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.